Okay, fine. Now I want to create a new project. I say ng new Angular batch example. Clear my point? The moment you put that, this folder, a new project will be created in this location. You see, it will ask you a few questions. We'll see that.
Sir, my Angular version is showing as 19.2. Will it be okay?
Come again.
Angular CLI version showing as 19.2.
No, you need to install npm package based on the Angular version. I told you, right? You have to specify
Yeah,
16.
and NPM version is showing as 10.8.
That is the problem. You need to
Okay,
install Angular CLI at the version name you have to provide. Then only the corresponding 16 version will be get installed, Ravi.
okay, okay.
Otherwise, it will not install the specified version, Ravi.
Uh,
Sir,
But
is there
yeah,
any,
this is
uh,
having some problem.
sir,
Uh,
the
you
project
should
to
release that.
project?
Should release that in command prompt. You are just keeping on hold, so you should release that. Then only it will install.
Come again?
No, you have opened command prompt, right, for creating new project. So
Hmm.
when you click the enter, after that again you have clicked in the command prompt. That's why it is not able to create. It will keep on hold until unless if you are not releasing the command.
Now you see, would you like to have a, okay, sorry, I want to know Angular routing is needed. Okay, fine, no problem. You say yes means a routing model will be created. Right now, I'm not adding the routing model. And I'm also using the CSS SCSS file, enter. What will happen? A new project folder will be created here. You see, it is created or not? Everybody, say sir.
Yes, sir.
A new module
Yes.
file and everything will be created.
Sir, for every project, we need to install this Angular, and the version is important, or any
No, it
version?
depends on the project you are creating. For example, if you are working with the Angular version 17 from your project, you need to confirm your Angular version in the folder.
Okay.
If the
Can we
version is
create?
not matched, you need to install Angular CLI.
Okay. Can we do instead that virtual environment we can create, and we can create project to project different versions we can maintain? Is that
It's
possible?
up to you.
Okay.
It's up to you. You
But
want
that's
to create a
possible,
virtual
actually.
environment and you can do that.
Okay.
Or always a best practice, keep that in your desktop.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Virtual environment always use only in the real time. When you go and deploy it in something like you want to You want to deploy and test it for testing environment. You want to deploy and do it in production environment. There you will use either Docker or virtual machine in the Azure environment.
Okay.
Okay. So Docker basically a container within your system. It will act as a web servers.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So there you can create a virtual environment. Here you don't require.
Okay. And before this installation, just I'll share my screen. I have some error. Can you explain that why this error is coming?
Yeah, please. Can you?
But when I'm asking, the host is not allowed to share.
I had given an allow.
Okay. So let me share my screen. Here you're seeing my screen here.
Started sharing, but I'm not able to see that. Yeah, please. Tell me.
Yeah. When I put like an npm install at Angular.
See, before you have to install, you need to download. What you need to download, ma? Everybody.
Node.js you have to download first.
Node.js.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Then
Because this npm install Angular CLI are downloaded from the Node module.
Okay.
Can you go to browser?
Okay.
Select node.js. No. Just to say node.js. Node.js download.
Okay.
Now click on that. One second. Finish. Now you see the first one. Click on that. Here, you go to downloads.
Here or maybe here.
Yeah. Download come. See, you click on the Windows installer. Before that, you go to getnode.js. There is a drop down. Under Node.js. No. In the app, you see there is a download.js. Download node.js.
Okay.
Yeah, you click on this version. You come down. Take that one, current one.
Current is 23.
Not this one. Come down. Select 18 version, LTS 18.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. And then download it. Click on Windows downloader.
This one is the.
Yes. Yeah. It will come up with the installer. Click on that installer, install it. Next. Don't do anything.
Okay.
Just next. Next. Don't do anything. Just next, install. It automatically install in your control panel, Node.js.
Okay.
If this is available, it will help you to install.
Okay.
You're from Bangalore, right, Asha?
Yes, I'm from
Bangalore. I
Bangalore.
spoke to you.
Yes. I think last 2 weeks ago, I think I spoke with you.
You're from Python.
Previous also I inquired, and my specific time is 9. Now 9 o'clock is suggested. Yeah. So then I can.
Then you try this.
Yes. Okay. Maybe I need to
No, you close the PowerShell and reopen the PowerShell. See. And connect your folder.
Yes.
Don't use desktops. I don't
Okay.
prefer to go for desktops. But even it is okay for you. Always use a drive.
Yeah.
Proper drive.
Can I go with the C drive?
It's up to you.
Okay.
Any drive, you need to specify properly.
Okay. I'll create it later. Okay, I understand. Maybe if I use this one, I need to create a folder for project. Yes, project.
No. Under the Siri, it will automatically create. Just click on install.
Okay.
We'll see whether it is working. Enter. Now it is taking.
Yes, yes. No, it is stopping.
Now it is installing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes,
Fine.
I am stopping my share.
Sure, please.
Sorry, guys, if I'm wasting your time. Already you have done this, sir. Okay, thank you.
That's okay. My people will support everybody. Don't worry.
That's great, sir. Thank you.
Now, mouse is not suddenly. File, open folder, enter. Now see, the folder is selected or not? Everybody. Say yes or no?
Yes.
I had opened the folder with the help of the folder what you created. Where you created the folder? You created the folder here. This folder I want to display. So that is why I created the project. Now I want to execute the project. For that, first I'm going here a new terminal and I am saying ng serve. I'm using a command called ng serve. I say yes, enter. Now, sir, what is the command for creating a component? Anybody can tell how to create a component?
ng generate component
Component.
Okay.
And ngGC name ng then G then C. Then component name.
See, the Angular project is executed. ng serve will automatically build the project and listen a browser URL with the local host. Okay, live development server will be created automatically. With this, we are going to create. Now, if you look into my VS Code, SRC, you see there is an app where you will have a component file and module file. Okay, those who want, please go through the previous, you will understand, Arsha and others. Okay, I could have explained each and every folder in detail. You can understand that. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a component. New component I'm going to create. First, how I will do? ng gc home is my component. What will happen? There are four files will be created and one file will be get updated. What are all the four files? One is HTML file, another one is spec.ts file, another one is ts file, another one is SCS file. And this file, the one which I created, it automatically update in the app.module.ts. Now, if you go here, you see home component is registered here or not? Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Home component is registered.
Yes, registered here.
Home component is declared in the declaration module.
Yes, sir.
And then you are also having a home component. Sir, this you are manually doing. This you are with the help of command you are doing. I want to create a component manually. Today's topic is create component manually. create. Why do we need to create a component manually? Can anyone tell me? In larger projects, sometimes what happens, Angular CLI command may not work in your local. Big projects where you will have 20 components, 200 components. That point of time, you want to create a component. As a developer, you need to understand how to create component in a code level instead of using a command. So the very first step is step 1, create a folder name called user. Where I need to create folder name. Under app, right click, new folder, you say user. Clear my point? I created a user folder. Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
second step, step 2, under user folder, create 2 files. Create 2 files for TS and HTML. If required, you can create a SCSS also, SCSS file. Clear my point? So how many files I need to create?
Yes, of course. 3 we need to create.
3 files we have to create. Now, what is the naming you are going to give? You simply right click, new file,
User component
user
dot
dot component dot HTML. You create it and create another file, user dot component dot ts. Okay, and create another file, user dot component dot scss. So how many files you created? 1, 2, 3. Now in the user dot component, I'm going to use a h1 tag, saying that HTML is not working. Why?
You are using CSS files.
Sir, you are on wrong file.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Now first one is, I'm taking HTML. I say h1 user component. Okay. Now I want to create this class as a component or not. This particular stuff is a component or not. So
Yes.
first what I will do, I create a class user component. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
I create a class as user component. Now I want to make this class available outside with other components. You need to use a command called export. If you are not using the export, this class will not available. Clear my point? Is it a plain class or not? Say yes or no. Is it a component or it is a plain class? Everybody.
It's a plain class.
It is a plain class where you can build your logic and data transmission. What is class we discussed? What is class we discussed? What is meant by class? Anyone can tell me? What is a class? Anyone,
Class is
please.
So business logic will be written in the class.
I can say
user
class
defined.
is
A container or
used to hold data or building logic against the data. That's all you are going to do, right? Are we doing anything apart from that?
packages, maybe
You
modules.
take any class in your real time. You take
Yes.
Java, you take Python, you take .NET, you take
Yeah, in the
Angular, you take React, you take X, Y, Z, any programming language. Basically, classes to hold data or building logic against the data. Is there any other thing we are going to do on classes?
yes, we can instantiate objects.
Forget about instantiation. Instantiation coming outside the class. Within a class, what you are going to do?
We
Yes,
can
sir.
define our data and functions, variables.
Function for why do we need to build a function?
Yeah, for actually, I'm telling about the Python. I don't
For
think
the usability,
more
sir.
specific.
So
No,
under
no, no.
control.
And see, Arsha, Jaffer, Anjali, everyone. Before you get into code, simply what is class?
Based on
A
data, we have
class
business logic, correct, sir?
class
So
basically
combination
to
of
hold
prop.
data. Whatever the data you are receiving to the class, it is going to hold with the help of variable. That is my first point. Clear?
Yes, sir.
You all agree with that?
Yes.
For example, there is a method. You are already holding value in a variable. To make a logic against the data, you are building logic in a method, right?
Correct, sir.
That is the main purpose. See, forget about if it is an event, forget about it is a function pointer, forget about it is a method.
That
All
is,
are called as method.
that is also considering in logic only, correct, sir? That's what the simple point is, logic. Correct?
End of the day, you are building the logic against the data. It can be any data, right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
So can I say a simply term called class is used to hold data and building logic against the data? Is it a correct statement?
Yes, sir. Almost.
Technically. So here I am building a class and I exported this class. To make this class as a component, you need to have import component. You need to create a component. Where this component coming from? Angular-core. Where this Angular-core? It is available in here. Here it is available. Clear my point? Angular core will be available from Node module. So here it is similar to package or namespace in .NET or Java.
Yes, sir.
To develop any application, you need a namespace or packages. Python also it is a package, right, Arsha? Arsha.
Yes. In inside the class or maybe all the packages we have, then we can import it from the packages.
Right. So here in Angular also you will have a packages, node modules. This is the class will be derived from this package. Now you need to decorate component. Clear my point? So what it is saying, can anyone read this? A decorator that mark a class as an Angular component and provide configuration the metadata, how the component should be processed, instantiated, and used at runtime. Components are most basic UI binding. Everything is there. Clear my point? So to decorate component, you have to use this. On top of that, what you need to do, you take this selector name. Clear my point? So what you need to do, you have to use selector, say app-user. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
And then template URL. What URL? Template URL colon dot slash user dot component dot HTML, comma, selected URL. No.
No,
Style URL. You need to use style URL. All our properties, say yes or no. User dot component dot
Yes, yes.
SCSS. Why? What happened?
URL both should be in caps.
Square brackets we need to. Square brackets we need to.
Now this became a component. Clear my point? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But this component I created, it will now what I want to do in the app component
We need to register
HTML,
this one.
I'm removing this entire text. Now it is empty. Now what I'm planning to do, I'm taking this selector as we discussed. I'm taking this selector. This selector I am implementing in app component.html as a tag. Now you see it has to work. It is not working. Why? Can anyone tell me why the reason?
It's not imported in app
Not
module.
imported.
So
Yeah.
you should import it
Index.
in app module.
Listen carefully.
Main dot.
The app-user is not a known element because app- is an Angular component. Then we verify it is a part of this module. I created a component. I created every component, right? But I was not registered this component in my module.ts. So what I want to do here,
Here we need to import, below we need to declare.
put user component. See, it is coming or not?
Yes, sir.
Why it coming means, you see here, if I go in DS, if I remove this component, listen carefully. Now go here. If I try to import, it will not act as a component. It will be available, but it will not act as a component. Now you see. Here I'm going to use declaration of user component, but still it will not work. Why? Why it is
Because
not
there is
working?
no component decorator.
There is no component decorator on a class. So what you need to do? Go
We need to-
here, paste it. Now you got the user component.
Yes, sir.
Everybody clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what is the steps we create? What is the step 3 we created? Step 3, make ts file, .ts file to act as a component. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Am I right or wrong? Everybody, say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Guys, you need to
Yes,
speak.
sir.
Otherwise, I'll be bored. I think 14 people are there, but nobody is answering.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Ramesh, you understand?
Yes, I understood that.
Ramesh,
Yeah, yes, I'm audible.
okay. Who is the other person? Ramesh is there, Sushma is there, Narendra, Anjali,
Am I
Anjali.
audible?
Yeah, I'm able to understand.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Ranjit,
Yes, sir. Understood.
understand?
Yeah.
What is the other person, third person? He left, leave it. Okay, fine. So, you understand, right, how to create a component?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You understand, right? How to create a
Yes,
component in a class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, my app component is a parent and user is a child or not?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Because in the app component, you are calling the user component. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So can
Yes, sir.
I say app component as a parent component? I can say here div class. No, it will not work. So how to install Bootstrap on this component? Now I created a component. How to install Bootstrap? We already discussed Bootstrap. Now tell me how to install Bootstrap in the component. We already discussed this. Can anyone tell me how to install Bootstrap in the component? Or you guys are sleeping? What is the command to install Bootstrap?
ng
Everybody,
install ng install bootstrap
please sleep. Please sleep, no problem.
No.
npm
install bootstrap
install
npm install Bootstrap.
Bootstrap -- save.
Yes.
Now you see there are two node modules will be added. Two packages are funded or not?
yes sir
Two
Yes.
packages are added in the module
Yes,
yes
sir.
out of 993 packages. Now you need to add one more. What is that? Not only Bootstrap, you need to have one more.
jQuery.
jQuery
Fine, it is working. Now it is also funded. Now the point here is I install. Will it work? Or I need to call that in my Angular JSON?
Angular JSON.
yes
We
sir
need to call it in
declare
Angular JSON.
We need to call it in a
Angular
Angular
JSON.
JSON.
Angular
Under
JSON.
where? In the build, in the style, you need to add here.
One of the styles you need to add it.
What you have to say? Node underscore
Modules.
modules slash bootstrap
Bootstrap.
slash dst slash
DLST.
css
CSS.
slash bootstrap
Bootstrap
dot
dot CSS.
css, comma. Now how you will confirm go to module? You see there is a bootstrap. dist css, you got it? The
Yes.
hierarchy. And will it sufficient to work with it? No. What do you need to do? You need to add a jQuery as a scripts. Node modules slash jQuery
jQuery.
slash dist slash js slash.
jQuery.
Let's confirm whether JS is available or not.
Yes, it works. Yes.
jQuery dist. See, directly it is using jQuery.js. jQuery.js.
Yes.
And then you need to add the bootstrap.js. Am I right or wrong? We discussed bootstrap.js, right?
Hmm.
Where is the bootstrap? See, this is the bootstrap. Now what do you need to do? You need to add this flow. So how to add this flow?
Node modules.
Node
Node
modules,
module.
Bootstrap.
Bootstrap.
Bootstrap dist.
bootstrap,
Dist.
JS.
dst,
JS.
js,
Bootstrap dot JS.
bootstrap.js. Now added the module.
Yes.
Now what do you need to do?
Yes.
Can it work as it is? No. We remembered, right? We need to recompile the code. We need to recompile the code.
Any
So what do you
package.
need to do? ng serve.
Again, we need to run.
Hey, come on.
open
Go to run, terminal, ng serve open.
Serve,
I am closing.
it's serve, sir, not serve.
Sorry, ng serve open. That's it. This is not required.
Sorry, you are using server, sir, not serve.
NG, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Server you are.
ng serve. No, before that, let's do a CLS.
Correct.
Clear the screen. ng serve open. Hey,
Hyphen.
because of the small my command is problem. There you go. It is generating the files.
Yes, sir.
And it automatically open a browser for you with the URL. Harsha,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
it's installed in your laptop.
Yeah, it is installed.
Now you see Angular example, use component. Now what I want to do, I want to bring this use component in a proper manner with the Angular framework. So what I'm going to do here, div class container. In Bootstrap, we already discussed this. Div class row. Okay, here I'm going to say div class h1. I say here parent component. Simply say app. Now go back. You see you got the parent component.
Yes.
Say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes.
Now copy the same stuff. Paste here. Instead of using this, bring this user component. You got the components? Parent component is there, user component is there. Clear my point? Now we applied a user component. Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everybody. Sir,
Yes, sir.
I want to display data into this component, user component. I want to display data which are coming from TypeScript to front end. So what is the code I need to write? Let me close all these things. Home component, I'm going to use only these two components where I'm going to declare a variable here saying that name colon string equal to welcome to iTask Technologies. Clear my point? Now this variable is holding the data of name. Say yes or no? Under the user component, you are having a variable. This variable is holding the data here. Everybody?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Now I want to print this data to my UI. How I will do the printing the data? Here, div class row div class h2 user component I'm putting. Clear? Now here div class h3 I say interpolation name. This is the variable I have name. that will automatically comes here. Now you go to the UI, you see you got the data. Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
So what is mean by interpolation in Angular?
Whichever variable we created in our component that will read in HTML, corresponding HTML.
No.
It's a data binding concept, like
Data
to
binding.
bind the data from TS to HTML.
Absolutely. Data binding in Angular.
When you are defining your variable, you are also defining type of data type also. We need to define it, or maybe it will not automatically detect dynamically.
TypeScript always is nothing. See, what is TypeScript? Before going to talk about data type and all those things, what is TypeScript? It is a superset of JavaScript. Okay.
Okay.
It is a superset of JavaScript. The main purpose of TypeScript is to define the data type by default. That is the best practice. You know what type of data the variable is going to be hold. You need to determine that will be the best practice. Is it okay, Harsha?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So now the point here is interpolation. What is the concept of interpolation? It is
Binding.
used to transfer data. What you are going to do? Transfer data from .ts file to .html file using a user defined variable. Agreed all my points?
Yes,
My
sir.
point is
Yes.
agreed? Interpolation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Syntax is curly braces. You can have any variable name. Clear my point? Everybody clear?
Yes.
Now, sir, that is fine. Now I'm getting the data, I'm doing everything. I want to add a div class row. Listen carefully. Here I'm going to have an input type equal to text. Right? Now, if you go here, you see there is a text box. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Whenever you enter data, it will be held by the variable. That variable need to be display the data here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to RTS. I'm saying input name colon string equal to null. Listen carefully. Input name colon string null. Now what happened? You need to associate this HTML control to this. For that, you need to use a concept called ng model. What model? ng model property. Clear my point?
Yes.
Which will be used to transfer data in a two-way binding.
It's also called two-way data binding. Yeah, correct.
It is called a two-way data binding. To define that in your project, first what you need to do is to get the ng model. To get first point, step one, import forms module in the module.ts file from Angular code package. Clear my point? First you need to, because this ng model comes under forms module property. Now you see, you go here, in the module, you declare here import forms module. You see there is a forms module. You got a forms module or not? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Please unmute and talk, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, saying that. Yeah.
Forms module. Or you got my point. Now take the forms module, declare that forms module, import that forms module in your ng module declared. Clear my point? See, components can be declared, modules can be imported. We already discussed in our second class. Clear my point? Once you've done that, now you go here, you simply say ng model equal to, what is the variable name we created? Input name. And you say here div class h4, use an interpolation. I'm saying input name. Now go back.
That ng model should be in brackets.
Round bracket.
Yes, correct.
You see here, two-way binding is happening or not? Say yes or no?
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what is the step we did? Assume I don't want to display like this. Whenever I click an event, that event should display the data. So what I will do here, input type button class btn hyphen primary. I say click me. What I'm saying, click me. Put equal to button. Okay.
Now closing type is input. It should be a button.
Close button.
Now you have a button, click me. Now I don't want this should be happen in this much length. So what I'm going to do, div class call hyphen md hyphen 4. Now somewhat it is okay. Now whenever I click, see for example here I'm adding a Narendra, right? This I don't want to do like this. So what I want to do is I remove this.
Remove.
I
Yes.
go to my user component. Here on submit is my event. Void, I say I have a declare a variable output name. I'm declaring a variable output name colon string equal to none. Clear my point? Whenever user submits, this dot output name equal to this dot input name. Right? Now you go here, I'm entering a Narendra. Babu. When you click, nothing has happened. Why? You are not binded the method, right? Are you binding the method?
No, sir.
No.
Here,
No.
you are not binded the method. So how you are going to bind the method is you copy this on submit, go to your user HTML. Here you say
But
click equal to on submit. Now come here, you say click me nothing. You say N, click me. It is firing. How do I define? In the inspect element, you go to source, under a webpack, SRC, app component, user component, TS, you put a breakpoint here. Now you see, click me. It is firing or not? Event is firing or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes or no? Your event is fired or not? Guys,
Yes,
I'm
Yes,
getting
sir.
bored.
It
Yes,
is
sir.
fired.
Second, sir.
Your event is fired or not?
Yes, sir.
Now what do you need to do? But still data is not displaying. Why?
The event name has not bounded to in the output box.
In the div
Like
H4, you
output
are
name.
not brought the variable name. So what do you need to do? Here you have to use curly process
Interpolation.
of interpolation. Go to user component, take this output name, paste it. Now come back. You say Narendra, click me. You got the Narendra here?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
So what you learned today? You got the NG model property where it will be used for, what is the purpose of NG model? NG model property. It is a property is used to transfer data from .html to .ts and .ts to .html. This also called as two-way data binding. Called as two-way what binding? Data binding. To handle two-way beta binding, two-way data binding, we need to follow the steps. We need to follow certain steps. Clear my point? Step 1, import forms module, and then in Angular core, Angular forms. Right?
Yes,
Step
sir.
2, in HTML tag, use ng model property. Clear my point? ng model property, because ng model property derived from where? ng mod, people will ask you, what is ng model property? ng model property is derived from forms module. Clear my point? Where it is coming from? Without a forms module. Now you go here, I will prove you. Now I will prove you. Now come here. If I go to app.module, assume I'm removing forms module for time being. Listen carefully. I'm removing forms module time being. What will happen?
Change
It's
module.
throwing an
Throw
error.
error.
Why? Because it is not determining as a Manji module. It is not a known property of input, cannot bind ng model since it is not a known property of input. Why? Because this ng model property comes from forms module. Clear my point? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Derived from forms module.
So by default, you need to import forms module. Without forms module, nothing will bind. Clear my point? Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now another
Yes, sir.
binding we discussed. What is that another binding?
Interpolation, that is one-way data binding.
One-way binding.
Event binding. We discussed event binding or not?
Something like on submit.
Whenever any action need to be performed on HTML element. Any action need to be performed in .html element. We will use event binding. We will use event binding. Why? Button click is an event. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Hyperlink click is an event.
Yes, sir. Awesome.
These are all events, right? Now you see, when you click me, you are writing an event. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This event will automatically call a what code? This method. Right? Now you see the class. What is class I explained is correct or not? Class as a variable, class as a method. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And then this class is holding the value. Based on the value, you are manipulating the value in a method. My statement about the class is correct or wrong? My statement on a class is correct or wrong? What is class we discussed?
It will hold data and building logic
Binding or
against the
building?
data. Building
Building?
logic against the data.
Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
So today we talk about what topic? How to create a component manually, how to use the data binding concepts in Angular. Clear my point?
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, that's all for today. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, sir. No,
Feel
sir.
free to ask.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir. Normally, this binding related, not binding related. Like a local host, we are using correct, sir. Like by default, where we can see that you are a portal because of sometimes we can see like